Hello and welcome to another episode of the Sparring Sessions podcast. My name's Dax. Usually I'll be joined by a co-host now, Big Will, Jeannie, maybe one of our famous Aussies that we love over here. But now we had some co-hosts fall through, tried to get a replacement, but it's not to be. I wanted to get an episode out to you guys. So that being said, I'm going solo for this episode. You saw the title, hopefully. If you just turn this on, maybe it's autoplay, whatever. We're breaking down best bets for this card, UFC Mexico Moreno versus Erceg. We're going to give you some best bets. We're going to give you some looks I thought of, maybe, call them value plays, stuff that I didn't think. I wanted to make a best bet. Maybe it's a big odd that I'm just, hey, look at this, whatever. But first, I want to take us back to last week. UFC London, Edwards versus Brady. So this one was a tough one. It was interesting. I had a lot go wrong. I had a lot go right. I'll just run through my bets. I actually did pretty well on my best bets. On the value play, some of the stuff I played outside, and not so much. So for me, I had Brady minus 160. Phenomenal. Looked great. Looked like a minus 300. Vucenic Duncan to not go the distance, minus 160. Didn't go the distance. Parkin, minus 110, didn't hit. That one, I feel kind of robbed, honestly. It should have hit. It was one of those where, round 2 was clear for Parkin, and then you could have given round 1 or 3 to Tybura. I didn't. I gave Parkin round 1 and 2, and I strongly considered giving him round 3. Maybe I flipped 1, 3. Either way, I did for Parkin pretty clearly. So what are you going to do? Bad beat. Blachowicz over 54.5 significant strikes and Parkin over 42.5 significant strikes. Just looking at the totals here. Blachowicz had 59, so not as comfortable as I thought. And Parkin had 60, so pretty comfortable there. Jocks had Kevin on decision. That hit. Bannon, that hit. Ooh, what a sweat. Wood, that hit. Plus 140. Lachlan, Fletcher to go the distance. That hit. So Jocks had a clean sweep. Parlay, Kutateladze, Holland, and Brady. Plus 355 did not hit, unfortunately. This one's my fault. Kutateladze, something's wrong. Either he was injured or he's just done. He's one of those guys I had so high hopes for him. He beat Gamrot, and he looked good against some other people. Looked good in the Brenner fight, but I don't know. If Kelly Fernandez is beating you up on the feet for 3 rounds, Guram, I don't know. But yeah, so that was last week. A new segment I'm starting here. I'm piloting. We'll see how it goes. Viewer best bet of last week. So this is something I wanted to do where we can bring, I haven't fully worked it out. So if you have any ideas for me, let me know. But essentially, leave a comment on our Instagram, our Spotify, or YouTube. Even DM me if you want at MMA_roundup. Essentially, your best bet of the card, odds-wise, it has to be a single. You can't give me a 2-leg, 3-leg parlay, and I'll display the highest 1 or 2 odds that I get. Last week, I don't even know. Bannon by sub maybe was the highest one. Whatever it is, I'll display it. I'm going to include myself in the running and my best bets, maybe my value plays, and whoever I have on. Not 100% sure yet, but there we go. So some fun, maybe catch on, maybe it doesn't. Maybe I'm just displaying my own best bets. We'll see. But we're going to jump into best bets from UFC Mexico, Moreno versus Erceg. And you're not just going to be staring at my face the entire time, I promise. We've got Tapology, we've got UFC stats, and we've got BetOnline because BetOnline has all the props right now. So wonderful. But yeah, so jump into my best bets. The first one I have is Gauthier over 40.5 significant strikes. This is not available on BetOnline. Prize Picks underdog, you're going to get it. Jump into Gauthier right here. He only has 1 fight on UFCstats.com. Am I blind? There we go. He got 48 in a, pretty deep in the second round. It's, he's a KO guy. That being said, Medina hasn't been KO'd. You look at him here. His only loss was by submission, and that was a long time ago. Was it 7 years ago, if I can do math? These are Zachary's a pretty heavy hitter. Magomed Ghaziazulov, we can see. I mean, he's got some KOs. He's got some submissions. He didn't get him on there, so I think this is going to be one where Gaudier just kind of piles on the strikes. I was looking at the over. I like the over, but I think he can kind of just rack up some points on Medina, some strikes on Medina, and maybe get him out of there late, but I think decision. That being said, I like the 48.5 or 40.5 for a guy who hit 48 in 2 rounds. Next up, I have Godinez, Lupi Godinez, over 2.5 takedowns. This and the last one, even money. Godinez, you can kind of see she's averaging 2.95 per fight. And if you look at the 3 most recent ones where she hasn't gotten takedowns, hit this line. Mackenzie Dern, phenomenal wrestler, phenomenal grappler, world champion. Same with Verna Jandiroba. Same with Tabitha Ricci. In fact, these two, she maybe she wanted to keep it on the feet at first, but grappler, you know how it goes. Grapplers kind of cancel out and you get a weird striking match. And then same with Tabitha Ricci here. She won on the feet. I believe let's click in here. I believe she had, she went 0 for 1. Okay, so I was wrong. That being said, you look at Elise Reed, 5 takedowns. You look at some of these other fights. Ariane Carnelosi, she got 8 takedowns. Lupi Godin or Loma Lubumi, she got 5 takedowns. And you look at Julia Plastri, Corey McKenna took her down, and Lupi Godinez is going to be much bigger than Corey McKenna. And she got taken down 4 times on the Contender Series by Jasmine Jasudavicius. So I think she's going to hit 2.5. I think that's her best path to victory. I think she can out-physical her. Even if she doesn't take a decision, I think she will. I think 2.5 takedowns is pretty good. Now for the lines, for the bets, I actually have lines on. I'm going to go, where am I going to go here? Costa submission. Initially, this was just Costa. Well, actually, I'm going to change it up. I'm going to go Costa as my my best bet now, because plus 141, I think that is a great line against a guy, Christian Rodriguez. We just saw him. Was that 2 fights ago? Yeah, 2 fights ago. He got guillotine choked by Julian Erosa in the first round. Julian Erosa is not a guy where you get that many. It's a good spattering of KO and submission, and he does have a mean guillotine choke, but he also is not the physical force that I think Costa can be. Costa's fought at lightweight. Christian Rodriguez fought at bantamweight. And you look at his wins. This is kind of a funny one. Look at his wins, Christian Rodriguez. 13-0, 6-0, 9-0, 7-0, 10-2, sure, in the UFC. But you look at his losses, 2 losses, you see numbers on those losses. These are guys with losses. These are, I don't want to call Jonathan Pierce at that, but Jonathan Pierce, sure. And I think Costa can just kind of get in here and bully him around. Submission, I think we'll talk about that later. Maybe I gave that away as a spoiler, but I think I like plus 141 for a guy who just beat Andre Fili and beat Shailander Dembeke. Took down Steve Garcia a few times, which is, Garcia's been on a mean run. Moises, I'm not going to fault him. That was up a weight class at lightweight. He's back down to featherweight, and he lasted a long time there. And Austin Lingo was a good wrestler. And a good striker too. I guess maybe he's made it everything. But that being said, I favor I favor Melchizio Costa here. I like the line at plus 141. Next up, we have Moreno by decision. Where are we at here? Brandon Moreno. I think he's going to win. I strongly favor him. I don't like minus 230. I know. You say Steve Erceg had a super close fight with Pantoja, and Pantoja's beaten Moreno twice. I don't really 3 times now. All right. You're going to go on this tangent with me. Is it twice or 3 times? I know he's beaten one of the Brandons twice and the other 3 times. Yeah, because this is from The Ultimate Fighter. Okay, so technically, I'm going to call it 3. I'm going to call it 3. So we got Moreno, and he has some submission wins, but recently he's been kind of he's been going to a lot of decisions. Past 3 going to a decision. This one I think was going to a decision if Figgy's eye hadn't been busted up. This one was kind of a weird one. It was a liver kick, and it was a good KO. Don't get me wrong, but I think this is one where Moreno maybe takes him down once or twice. I think he just kind of stays on the feet, and I don't think he's going to KO or submit Steve Erceg. Kai Kara-France is probably the hardest hitter in the flyweight division, and I don't really fault him for getting knocked out against Kai Kara-France. That being said, I think Moreno, it's going to look a lot like the Albazi fight, a little more, maybe the Royval fight, a little more striking. I thought Moreno won this one, so I'm fine calling it this Royval fight. And you can get it at plus 130. I really like that line. I think that's a good line. I think that's how he wins. Maybe I sprinkle on submission, but I'm pretty confident on Moreno here. So I'm going to go Moreno decision as the best bet. Sparring sessions parlay of the week. Now, I have these odds already. I have the odds predetermined in DraftKings because that's what we use for our slips. So don't follow me if you see a different number here. But we're going to go. Will has Drew Dober under 1.5 rounds. Jeannie has, where's he at here? There's multiple Rodriguez's, so I have to be careful here. Ronaldo Rodriguez. And I have Lupi Godinez, like I mentioned before. You get plus 264 here. I actually have plus 241 written down. So if you want to use BetOnline, go for it. I don't personally use BetOnline, but the only reason I'm doing this is they have all the lines out first. So whatever your heart desires. But yeah, I'm going Lupi Godinez. I think she'd taken down. Drew Dober versus Manuel Torres is an interesting one. Manuel Torres obviously gone under in all of his UFC fights. And Jeannie is very confident in Ronaldo Rodriguez. I'm not going to fault him. He's only lost 1 parlay leg so far. So to recap here, sparring sessions parlay of the week, we got Drew Dober versus Manuel Torres under 1.5 rounds. Ronaldo Rodriguez moneyline versus Kevin Borjas, and Lupi Godinez moneyline versus Julia Plastri. You get plus 264 for that. I think that's a great line. I think I'm pretty confident in all of these. And the other thing, you're getting a lot of action out of these people. Under 1.5, Ronaldo Rodriguez is always exciting. Lupi Godinez, usually exciting. I think she can bully her. I think this is going to be an exciting fight. So yeah, I like this parlay, and you should have some fun tailing it. Next up, value plays worth mentioning. I'm going to go into a few of the plays that I didn't want to fully mention. These are ones that either, like, we'll see the line. I could like it. Maybe if it grows a little more. It's a big number, so I didn't want to make it my, best bet of the week, or the line just hasn't dropped yet. I don't have any of those this week, but I always like to mention it. First one, I mentioned it earlier. Medina Gautier over 1.5 and minus 170. Minus 170 here. I think this is a good number. I think you're getting a decision here. Gautier went to it was 4 minutes into the second round, so that would have hit. You see a lot of round one. Some decisions, sure, but look at Medina's record. I mean, look at this. Decision. Ground and pound. I don't think he's going to get a ground and pound finish early, or a taken down. I would be shocked if Medina wins. That being said, if he wins, I'm going to guess it's going to be late. Maybe more of a tire Gautier out situation. But decision. 2 really tough guys. And I think Teba Gautier, hope I'm saying that correctly. I think he's going to either KO him really late, like 3rd round, or go to decision, which I think is more likely. I was looking at Gauthier decision. You can get a plus 275. I don't love that number. I'm more confident in the over 1.5. Maybe you go to go to decision at plus 165, but I really like the 1.5 here. Next up, we're going to go Shirez under 67.5 significant strikes. So if you look at Edgar Shirez, he has only hit this once. 67.5 is a lot. And this fight was a striking contest. For some reason, you kind of look at Shirez. He's the let's look at his record. He's a submission guy. 7 out of his 11 wins are by submission. 5 in the first round. No takedowns on Joshua Van. I mean, he tried over 2, but that's not really for a guy who's going in there to submit somebody. Usually, I want to see over 8, over 9. I want to see Marab numbers out here. Joshua Van took him down 3 times. Do I think CJ Vergara is going to take him down? No. You look at this takedown average 0-0. That being said, I don't think it goes super late. I think these guys probably end up in the clinch a good bit. Maybe Edgar Shirez tries to take him down. Even if he takes him down, takes Vergara down and subs him early, or Vergara KOs him, that's going to hit the under then. Even if this goes super long, I kind of like my odds of going under here. Next up, Christian Rodriguez under 15.5 significant strikes. If you look at Vergara, he's not really giving up that many numbers. I mean, a few times, but these guys are strikers, and these are guys he's banging on the feet with for 3 rounds, not really clinching with. Get back to what I was saying. Christian Rodriguez under 15.5 significant strikes. He has only hit this once in the UFC, twice on UFC stats. And if you look, those were both decisions. There's usually a lot of takedowns in his fights. He took down Austin Bashi twice, got taken down 3 times. Dolgarian took him down 7 times, kind of gassed out early. Simon wasn't on the fight or on the feet fight for the most part, 3 takedowns. But I think this one ends early. Like I said, I'll probably just mention next, but I think Costa kind of finishes him early. Either way, I see this going down on the ground for the most part, and most ground strikes are not counted as significant strikes. It's just at distance usually. So I think 15.5 is a high line. And if you look at the other side, Costa, his opponents have never hit this. So I like it. Next up, I'm going to blow through a few here. These are just a few that I think could be interesting for a variety of reasons. I'm going to go. Where am I going here? Godinez by submission. I mentioned it earlier. I could see it. I could see her taking Palestri down. Palestri's never been finished, but I could see Lupi just kind of woman handling her, excuse me. I'm going to go Joe Pyfer by submission, plus 315. I think Pyfer takes him down here. Pyfer subbed. Who did he sub? Was it? Abdul Razak Al Hassan. I would not have gotten that. Arm triangle choke, round 2. He had 3 takedowns in this fight. KG, never been knocked out. He's fought Chris Curtis. He's fought Jared Cannonier, Robert Whitaker, Jack Hermanson, Darren Till, Israel Adesanya, Michael Bisping, Chris Weidman, Vitor Belfort, Neil Magny. Okay, I'm kidding on Neil Magny. Don't worry. But even at welterweight, he wasn't getting knocked out. I don't think it happens here. Honestly, Pyfer by decision is what I was going with, but submission, I think he can do it. Gustafson's been subbed pretty recently. Sean Brady, a teammate of Joe Pyfer, and Joe Pyfer is much bigger than Sean Brady. The next one I'm going to go with is another submission. I got 2 more submissions for you. Torres by submission. I think he takes down Dober early and chokes him out. Rear naked choke you see on his record here. Half of his wins are by submission. And if you look at the lines, where are we at here? If you look at the lines, Torres by TKO plus 180. I don't really like that. Plus 400. I kind of really like that. And you look at the other side, Dober, not really getting knocked out. A few times, doctor stoppage. Matt Frivola, that was just kind of a weird one. And scroll all the way down here. Was it before the UFC? Really? Oh, it's got to be somewhere else here. Okay, maybe I'm blind. But that being said, I think Manuel Torres takes him down here pretty much at will, kind of like the Renato Moicano fight. Just hops on a choke, hops on an arm, maybe. I think Dober's kind of done on the ground. I think he could knock Dober out, but we'll see. And then last but not least, I'm going to hit you with Ronaldo Rodriguez by sub. This is a Genie special. Go, shout out to Genie if it's hits. Plus 375. You look at Ronaldo Rodriguez. 5 of his wins are by submission. He got it against Dennis Bondar and against... Oh, no, that's not the one I was looking at. He submitted somebody else. Somebody notable. Maybe I'm blanking here. Anyway, I think submission is a good line for a guy. Kevin Borjas, kind of a striker, bunch of KOs. He'll probably want to strike on the feet with Rodriguez. And you can see Costa kind of punches from back mount. I don't think Rodriguez is going to punches from back mount. I think he's going for that choke. Another rear naked choke loss on the record. Yeah, I think I like this. And yeah, that's going to end the episode. 22 minutes, quick. I doubt anybody got this far. Just a solo episode. Wanted to get something out. Couldn't find a co-host. We'll have some more content next week. You won't have to stare at my face for that long. I guess it's less of my face. I'm just in the corner here instead of half the screen. That being said, thanks for sticking with me if you did. Even if you skipped to the end to hear the outro. Maybe you like the music. Thanks for watching. Hope you win some money. Hopefully, I helped you think about some bets or go against some bets that you were going to take, and hopefully those don't hit. But yeah, anyway.